Welcome back to the Auto Insider, where you come to find out what's new, what's hot, and what's not in the automotive industry. Many of you know I've been on a quest to find the first vehicle for my new teen driver. We've driven cars, SUVs, and CUVs. Let's see how this one stacks up for mine and your teen.
Considering I help people make auto purchasing decisions all the time, I thought this buying a vehicle for my teenage daughter would be a lot easier. But things have changed so much in the landscape of the automotive industry over the last 3 to 4 years. I understand why all of you also have to come out and look for these videos to figure out what's the best car for me or for my teenage driver. This week, we're driving the 2023 Toyota Corolla Cross. This is the first time Toyota has ever come out with a crossover SUV using the Corolla name. They have a new updated hybrid drive system that across the board gives you about 35 miles per gallon average for the Toyota Corolla Cross, with a starting price for a base Corolla in the low to mid 20s. When we move up to this hybrid edition that we're testing this week, $35,000 seems like a bit of a stretch for a teen. So while this hybrid version of the Corolla Cross may not make our short list, the Corolla Cross in general is absolutely in the top 5 on our list. In Toyota's engineering, when coming up with this vehicle, one of the things I think that are best about it is this new infotainment system that was designed in the United States, in Texas, by Toyota's own engineers. So many auto companies use things like Google Maps or other companies to download to their vehicles for their software. But Toyota has come up with their own design. And when it was first introduced to me, I thought Toyota is really going out on a limb here trying to do this by themselves. But so far, every Toyota I've driven, it works great. This cloud-based navigation system gives you updated roads and maps all the time. Perfect for your teens. They're used to using technology to move around and to get their information. So this new multimedia system in Toyota should work perfect for your young driver. Also in here, we have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto that can be synced wirelessly with the system. There's also multiple USB charger ports in here. So if you don't want to sync through the Bluetooth, you can sync through your USB cable. There are USB fast chargers in here, so everybody can keep connected to the vehicle. And with Toyota's new infotainment and multimedia team, they came up with a way to connect 2 phones wirelessly to this system. This upscale top-of-the-line hybrid model we have has a wireless phone charger here, and it has selectable drive modes with an EV mode. Now, the EV mode doesn't work very long. You have to do a lot of driving and recharging up the hybrid battery, but once you do, there is some bit of range. And there's no waste in fuel when you're sitting at traffic lights or when you're moving in stop-and-go traffic. All of my controls are here on the steering wheel. I can control my volume from my radio stations, change my radio stations. I can even set my cruise control from here. And I can also change my radio stations and navigate through my infotainment system. The only thing that I would maybe knock Toyota for is the CVT transmission. Under hard acceleration, the Corolla Cross does sound a bit like it's straining. But for my 16-year-old, that may be a good thing. Maybe she'll get tired of the noise and not try to accelerate so hard. Space in here, it's not the biggest SUV, but when I'm thinking about a vehicle for my teenager, I'm thinking about not having too many people in here. So I don't want it too big and too comfortable. Wow, but I'm not a huge fan of this. It's not terrible. It'll get out of its own way, and it won't get your young one stuck on the entrance ramp trying to enter the highway. Also, when I look down here at my instrument cluster, we've been driving this vehicle for a week, probably put about 300 miles on it, and I'm averaging 40.9 miles to a gallon. But around town, this handling is great, feels good and confident on his feet. All-wheel drive makes me feel like she'll be just fine when it comes to moving around in inclement weather. And there's plenty of space back behind that second row for all of her stuff when she goes off to college. It goes flat into the floor, so it's enough room to fill a whole dorm room in this Corolla Cross. This also is a great first choice vehicle. It has things like dual climate controls, heated front seats for both front seat passengers. Like I said, the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as well as your wireless Qi charger. You lay your phone down and it charges right up. So even for those of you making your own way, this is one that'll probably fit your budget.
So whether you're loading groceries or book bags, there's enough room to get everything in here. When it comes to look, it may not be the best looking SUV I've ever seen, but I think Toyota did a really good job making it look muscular here with the bulging flares over the front and rear wheels. That rear spoiler over the window looks cool, and that luggage rack really finishes it off.
The question of the hour: is this 2023 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid hot or not? It's absolutely hot. Probably too hot for my 16-year-old, considering the $35,000 price tag. However, we will be looking at the entry-level models that start in the low to mid-20s. When we're talking about 35 miles per gallon across the brand, this 40 miles per gallon on this hybrid would be nice, but I don't know how much gas I'd have to save to make up the difference in 23,000 and 35,000. That's something you'll have to decide for yourself. But we give this Corolla Cross the hot button for sure. Until next week, I'm Daryl Killian for the Auto Insider.